What is up, everybody out there in HeroClix land? This, once again, is Scott Porter back for day number 4 of our brand new HeroClix unboxing series for Marvel's new HeroClix set, Smash and Destroy. I want to flip the table, I want to throw everything around, but I'm not going to do that at HyperRPG Studios because that, well, cost me a lot of money. Just like all these battles that you see in the Marvel Comics world cost, well, a lot of money to repair. And that is when you bring in a group called Damage Control, which is actually kind of at the middle of this entire set, which I did not expect. You know, coming in, you see Hulk on the front of the boosters. You're going, okay, I got to get my Hulk. I got to get my Hulk on. Got to read all these books, you know, go back to Greg Pak and make sure I read Al Ewing and make sure I read the most, you know, current one, or make sure I go back to the Minlo and the Peter David era, you know. No. It's not been as Hulk-centric as I thought it was going to be. There's just a bunch of loose characters that actually tie in with this funny little book written by Dwayne McDuffie at the end of the 80s and into the 90s and early 2000s. He had such an awesome way of presenting this really funny book that tied into so much of Marvel, and I think we're going to see more of that today. Every time I open a booster, I'm like, wait, let me go into the vault of my head and try and figure out if I remember this particular issue or why this character would be here. All I'm saying is I believe that there is a very strong Damage Control fan within the confines of WizKids, and they were the ones responsible for putting this figure list together. If you haven't seen days 1, 2, and 3, we have opened 8 boosters so far, as well as the release day kit. We've seen some really cool Absorbing Men, a ton of villains, and we've seen some tie-ins to some really cool storylines, and I cannot wait to see what we get today. You know, people ask, they're like, how do you remember all of this stuff? Well, it was years and years and years of choosing to stay in on a Wednesday night instead of go out and hang with friends. That's right. And when you go to the comic shop and your pull list is a brown bag with 30 comics a week in it, well, you have a tendency to bank a lot of that stuff, you know? I would stay at home on Wednesday and Thursday night because I didn't want to get spoiled for anything, and I would just read all these comic books. And that's what led me to play HeroClix. I never really played any tabletop miniature games ever. I was just a comic fan, and this was the gateway into gaming for me. And I know for some people it was the other way. You played Mage Knight or Mech Warrior or any number of these tabletop games, and then you saw HeroClix and you said, yeah, I want to play that game, and that was the doorway for you into comic books. This is the green door, if you will, in between gamers and comic shops. That is what these unboxing videos are, and I hope you are enjoying watching them as much as I am enjoying creating them for you every single time that we get to do this. I'm so excited to see what we open today. Who knows what's next? Let's get cracking. All right. And how am I still going energy-wise? How am I still doing this hours into the day of filming this particular unboxing series? Well, I've switched. I no longer have coffee in my mug. I've emptied this entire thermos of coffee. No, now I have switched to orange cream Coca-Cola. Yes, orange cream. Maybe 3rd or 4th on the list of all-time Cokes for me. Number 1, Cherry Coke. Number 2, controversially, Cinnamon Coke. Listen, we've talked about Mountain Dew on this thing for a long time. What's in Scott Porter's cup? Different Mountain Dews. Well, guess what? They've never stepped up and sponsored these videos, so might as well go after a big dog. Here, orange cream Coke. Oh, it's so good. Oh, it's so good. Maybe it's number 3 for me all time. Maybe number 3. Delicious. All right, moving on. It looks like we've got another super rare here, our 3rd in the set. Still no primes, lots of A and Bs, but they're just shared positions on the set list. Some of them not even the same character, sharing the same number. We've got the Wrecking Crew, 3 of them taking up 10 A, B, and C. So who knows what's next? We've got Captain America in this set, not a super rare. Oh, shoot, I thought we had another Desir. No. This is the B version of the Desir. This is Brun. Brun, I believe, is their leader. She was basically what Brunhilde was for the Valkyrie, the leader of her version of the Valkyrie underneath Bor, who is Odin's father, the ancient All-Father of the Asgardians. Our next super rare is actually Harpy. And I love it. I love that she's on the edge of the building like that. So, so cool. I love when they use the environment as a part of these sculpts. Here we go with Los Diablos Officer, who we've already seen. And then we've got another Hulk. I'm hoping that it's C. No, it's A. All right, so we have the Hulk A and B versions. I wanted to see if we could get a C version. I don't know if one exists, but I am strongly thinking that it does. So there we go. Now, we did pull a Steve Rogers in day one, and it was the Steve Rogers hotline, the Captain America hotline, actually, where Steve Rogers literally went on TV and made a commercial and said to the American public who had lost faith kind of in the American government and him as Captain America, in order to rebuild trust with America, I have a hotline you can call, and I'll ride in on my motorcycle and I'll help save the day. And actually, it has a surprise tie to, you guessed it, Damage Control. Damage Control, there was an old prison called the Vault. And the Vault was before the Raft or any of these super-powered prisons. And the Vault is where all these supervillains were locked up. And it got damaged, and it was starting to... Damage Control goes there to figure out how to do preventative security measures as well as repair some things that, you know, had fallen into disrepair at the Vault. They end up getting trapped inside the Vault with all these supervillains. And they call the Captain America hotline, and Captain America riding in on his motorcycle towards the end of it to save the day. So there you go, another Damage Control tie. I'm telling you, this thing is so far-reaching, you don't even understand. Again, worth the read, and so funny and so charming. Wonderful book. Okay, all right, let's put that over there. Let's put the Hulk over there, and let's break into, let's look at Captain America, since I was just talking about him and his hotline. Captain America is set number 14. Oh, I expected him to be the other Steve Rogers was what, 16A? I thought Captain America might be 16B. Nope, it's its own figure. Man, this set continues to surprise me. Avengers, Past and Soldier keywords. Set number 14 comes in at 75 points. Has shield bounce. Once per turn, when Captain America hits after resolutions, he may make an attack as if he occupied the square of the hit target. Has some improved targeting there, ignoring elevation and characters and such. On the back, you see Avengers 1-1 in 2016 as the significant appearance. I'm just going to pretend that he's riding in on his motorcycle and saving the day. And the only reason Damage Control actually makes it out of that issue is because John Porter has become friends with Thunderball a long time ago after helping him find his missing Asgardian enchanted wrecking ball. It was in the Lost and Found at Damage Control, and they were able to find it. So, boom, there you go. Ties back to that book once again. I'm telling you, somebody over at WizKids, huge huge Damage Control fan. Oh, we got 2 one-shots in this as well, which I didn't see earlier. Okay, Brun. Let's look at Brun. She is set number 15B. Brun is Asgardian monster, mystical ruler, and warrior. Oh, the name of the trait is awesome. Call our name and we come for you. When an opposing character within 6 squares is given a free action, after resolutions, you may place Brun or a friendly character named Desir adjacent to that character. When an opposing character within 6 squares is given a free action, so it doesn't have to be line of sight, as soon as the free action is taken, boom, Brun or a Desir can go there. It doesn't say there's a limit for the number of times you could do it. So if multiple free actions are happening, you have a bunch of Brun and Desir on the map, you can move them all. Boom, 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 boom. First, Cursed. Leadership. Brun and friendly characters named Desir increase their single D6 rolls by +1. Doesn't say to a maximum. I'm guessing maximum of 6, but tell me in the comments down below, can you do 7 on Blades Cause Fangs? I know that we have some unspoken, you know, don't have to be on the card, just like general rules about HeroClix. I don't think you can deal more than 6, but man, that would be so awesome. I'm so used to seeing that verbiage still on dials, right? When you replace a figure, replace on the same click number. It doesn't say that on cards anymore, but it used to. And it used to say maximum 6 on some of this stuff. I'm guessing it's just in the rules now, but man, can you imagine dealing 7 with Blades Cause Fangs? That would be hilarious. Wow, that is so good. And with 3 damage on 3 out of 5 clicks, like every now and then it doesn't make sense to maybe just roll for the Blades, Claws, Fangs, even with a 3 damage. I don't normally like to do that because your chances of hitting the same number or even lower are pretty high, but with the +1, way more likely to roll for it. So cool. And she's Mystics. Blades, Claws, Fangs, some stealth, some charge, steel energy, of course, as well. Really, really cool. The story that they're citing that she's from, Angela, Asgard's assassin, if you don't know who Angela is the sister of Thor and Loki, the daughter of Odin, was thought to have been kidnapped and killed by the angels of heaven, which is one of the realms of the Asgardian lore, the 10 realms, right? But turns out that she wasn't dead. Turns out that she was raised by angels and became a killer, man. And I love Angela's whole story. I won't go too deep into that story that this Disir is from, but she ends up on the Guardians of Galaxy ship on the other side of the galaxy, and Hela well, Thor and Loki are hunting for her because she has stolen her youngest sister from Freya and Odin and is on the run with the baby, and everyone's chasing her everywhere. And Odin, Thor, Odin's son, screams Disir out into the universe, and she hears it, and it just gets in Angela's head. And just like they always do, Angela just whispers the word Disir, and boom, they are on the Guardian ship on the other side of the galaxy. They just, boom, teleport. They just appear there. And then there's this whole deadly battle on the ship. So, so cool. Love the Disir and Brun and the way that their actual powers in the comics are translating to the figure here. Awesome. All right. Our super rare out of this is Harpy. Now, if you're not a big Hulk reader, who is Harpy? Well, Harpy is Betty Ross, his longtime love interest for Bruce Banner. And this is her in a pretty deadly form. Let's take a look. She's got AIM, Hulkbusters, Brute, and Monster keywords. She's set number 37A. Ooh. I am willing to bet Red Harpy is going to pop in here into this set. And that does seem prime-worthy to me. I'm not so sure if that'll be the case. 80 or 50 points for starting dials, has a split dial. Carry off the Hulk. Hypersonic speed. When Harpy uses it, after resolutions, you may place a character she hit adjacent to her. So it kind of has that ricochet effect, that boomerang effect, where it goes, she can go and hit somebody, pick it up, bring it back with her to more of an ambush to just get dealt more damage. Nightcrawler had that famously once upon a time in HeroClix. Blasts like atomic weapons. Special damage power. Some improved targeting for blocking terrain, ranged combat expert. When Harpy attacks, after resolutions, destroy any blocking terrain within 1 square of each hit target. This is the scream of the Harpy, right? On the back, you can see she's got some running shots, some flurry, some penetrating psychic blast, and yes, Elizabeth Ross from The Incredible Hulk, 168 back in 1973. So, who is to blame for the Harpy existing? None other than our favorite giant head in a floating chair with little legs and arms, MODOK. See, what happened with Betsy, and I'm going to put this Betsy Ross in the left over here because it wasn't. Nah, she becomes a hero later. I don't know. Harpy does become a hero as far as the Hulk side later in life. But how was she created? Well, she married someone that wasn't Bruce Banner. That man ultimately died. She had a complete mental breakdown, and MODOK was very interested in creating a gamma-powered beast that he could control that could go toe-to-toe with the Hulk and then eventually get rid of the Hulk and allow him to conquer the world, because what else was MODOK wanting to do with his life? Well, he sees a mentally fractured Betsy Ross as the perfect place to experiment on, and he does create the Harpy. She goes toe-to-toe with the Hulk on a number of occasions. However, in later books, the Harpy actually becomes an ally of the Hulk, especially in the Immortal Hulk run that Al Ewing did. I don't want to go too far down the rabbit hole, but definitely if you want to read some creepy, weird, deep mythos on why Hulks exist, why that particular heroic moment, that canon event happens in almost every single universe, it has to do with something called the One Below All. like underneath all the realms of hell, there's this place and this being that needs creatures who are equipped with gamma radiation to come into our universes and really control things. And the Hulk is kind of his doorway into our universe. So that whole entire run deals with a lot of that. And you see Betsy a lot as the Harpy in that book as an ally of the Hulk. So very, very cool read. So there you go. Harpy, our third super rare. Only 3 super rares, no primes, no chases or anything yet. Hoping we still get to see some other cool stuff. We got 2 one-shots today. Insurance policy. Oh, sorry, my fat fingers are blocking the way. Including one that I completely dislocated playing basketball just 4 days ago. And yes, I popped it back into place. Yeah, this knuckle right here was sitting over here, like all the way over here, and the finger, imagine this finger just pointing that way. I just grabbed it. Yeah, I yelled like the Hulk. I was like, "Aah!" And I put it back into place. And I didn't go see a doctor. And I probably should, because if you compare that finger to the rest of my, it's the most sausage of fingers. It is the fattest finger I have right now. This guy is a pretty big guy there. Okay, anyway, sorry. If I'm a little clumsy with my opening today, that's why. Completely dislocated it, man. What's the worst injury you've ever had? In the most ridiculous way. Let me know underneath in the comics, right? We're not superheroes. We couldn't deal with the punishment that we are just frail humans, right? Like, I pepper cut myself on a HeroClix box, and I'm out of commission for like 2 days, right? What's the weirdest injury you've ever had that affected the way you can play the game of HeroClix? Because right now, I'm not rolling dice very well. All right. Insurance policy says when a friendly terrain marker is destroyed, if it had a point value greater than 0 after resolutions, you may remove up to 3 action tokens from amongst friendly characters. Wow. Insurance policy. I love it. Oh, and that is Tom Foster. That is so cool to see him on the card there. And that's Bart. And that's the pup. Look. That's Fluppy. Very cool. That's the Fix-It puppy. And that's Bart walking him, the eternal intern of damage control. Also, we have another one-shot, and this one is called Heimdall's Sight. At the beginning of your turn, you may choose a friendly character. Oh, I'll show you this, and you can pause it, and then I'll finish reading it. At the beginning of your turn, you may choose a friendly character with the Asgardian keyword. If you do, this turn, that character has a minimum range of 8. Ooh, yes, awesome. The ever-reaching sight of Heimdall from his home at the base of the Bifrost. So cool. One of my favorite things to ever happen with Heimdall, actually, and I don't know if we're going to get Heimdall in the set. I mean, we got Heimdall's Sight. If Heimdall's in the set, one of my favorite things actually was him being taken out. Because the line of thought was nobody could ever approach Asgard without Heimdall seeing, right? But Heimdall is still an Asgardian. Asgardians still breathe, they still eat, they still sleep, they still blink. But he doesn't sleep, but he does blink. And Gladiator only moved in movements in his blinks and appeared in front of him without him ever seeing him come. It's the only time I've ever seen a Marvel character appear in Heimdall's face without Heimdall knowing he was coming. One blink of an eye, boom, Gladiator was there. It was a big War of the Realms kind of, not War of the Realms, but War of Kings or something along those lines. Anyway, that's my favorite thing to deal with Heimdall's Sight. Moving on to our second booster of the day. Boom. And we're going to look at the play-at-home kit today as well, so keep that in mind at the end of this video. Oh, did we finally get him? Yes, we did. Okay. All right, we got a Valkyrior, who we've looked at. We talked about already. We got Kraven. Oh, but this Kraven has long hair. Look at that guy. That is a different Kraven than we got. That is the son of Kraven, who is just the brutal new version of Kraven. Really, really cool. So I can't wait to see what he does. We've got Hawkeye in his old school pink and purple. We've got Captain America, who we just saw, and finally, on day 4, after a number of arcade bots, we've got the actual Arcade himself, I am guessing, as he has a unique ring on his dial there. So, boom, there you go. Figures for this booster. Now, we've seen a couple of these already, so we don't have to take a look at them. Just going to make sure that the same number Captain America, yes, number 14. So we've already seen him, and like I said, we've already seen Valkyria. So let's jump into, this is funny, Hawkeye, I think is fun, because Hawkeye is tied to Zax, who we already saw on day 1 or 2. So let's take a look at Hawkeye first. Hawkeye is set number 11. Avengers, Shield, Marksman, and Martial Artist keywords. Comes in at 75 points. A lot of running shots, some precision strike. Range Combat Expert. Pretty high damage for a Hawkeye there with Range Combat Expert. Eyes of the Hawk is his trait. When Hawkeye attacks characters on a lower elevation than him, modify their defense by -1. So just making sure that he is going to hit. I mean, look, he's got an 11 attack at the lowest for 6 out of his 7 clicks. Gosh, he's 7 clicks for a Hawkeye? Pretty good. If you look at the back here, Avengers 5-1, 2017. But like I said earlier, and I wish they would have done a conduction arrow or whatever it was, he was the one that first defeated Zax when Zax first came to life as a being. The thing with Zax that's so cool is he is just a being of psionic electric energy. He has no body really about him, and actually had taken over the body of Thunderbolt Ross before, so everything is tied together in so many cool ways on this set. I kind of like that it's not based around one specific storyline, because it allows for a lot of creativity in the set list design. It's a very cool set. I don't know, man. I'm super stoked with how this set has come together. I love it when a set comes together. We've got Kraven. Let's take a look at him next, because I want to save Arcade for last. I want to see how the traps are all working. Kraven, Savage Land, Sinister Syndicate, Animal, Brute, Martial Artist, and Warrior. 8B. Yes, this is, in fact, as you can see by the trait, the last son. When a character with Kraven in their name is KO'd, after resolutions, modify Kraven's combat values by +1 until the end of your next turn. If that character has a Sons of Kraven trait, also remove an action token from Kraven. But he comes in at 125 points, or 60 as a split dial, so I don't know how many Kravens you're going to really get on the board here. That's a little bit tricky of a trait to get to trigger, and it's only for 1 turn. So I'm wondering just how much it is worth it. That being said, he is still a beast. 4 range, 2 targets, hypersonic speed on that first click with a 12 attack with Blade's Claws, range combat expert. I mean, he can hit you from anywhere, anyhow, and for big damage pretty much every click of the way. If you see the back here, Sergei Kravenov, who has now taken his father's name. I'm not going to spoil the end of Hunted, but I will tell you, he fully assumes the mantle of Kraven after this whole thing is said and done. He believes his father to be weak, to be taking a step back from everything he believes in. And like I said in the earlier video, Kraven kills his real family, clones himself, makes himself like 90 sons or like 100 sons, sends them off on missions to go kill beasts and only return once they have, and only one of them returns because that particular one right there killed all of the other Kraven clone son things. He is the strongest, the fastest, the most deadliest, the brutalest. Really cool way to, I guess, generationally hand down the mantle of Kraven. All right, last but not least, before we jump into the Play at Home kit, is Arcade. I've got a Murder World shirt. Can't really wear it all that often because, like, if I'm around my 9- and 7-year-old and they're like, Dad, what's Murder World? I'm like, oh no, I can't even really get into that, kids. Arcade, Masters of Evil, Assassin, Robot. 26 is the set number, and he comes in at only 50 points. Trait, build a better Murder World. At the beginning of the game, if you were the second player, generate a Smash and Destroy number 6 arcade on their starting click, and up to 2 trap terrain markers in any 3 squares, not within 3 squares of a starting area. Wow, okay. Look at his dial there, some sidestep. Mastermind, of course, outwit. On the back, he's got hit the button, special attack power. Choose 1, power. Generate a trap terrain marker in a square within range. Replace a friendly trap terrain marker within range with another trap terrain marker from outside the game. Place a friendly trap terrain marker up to 4 squares away from its current square. Very cool. So you're popping up traps all over the board. I love that you can chain them together using the friendly trap terrain markers. With this hit the button, you can add trap tokens on the board elsewhere. He doesn't have to be within range. So very, very cool that you can shift them around, create new ones, put them onto the board. But interestingly enough, like you kind of want to lose initiative. I mean, he doesn't get to spawn one of these other Murderbot arcades if you go first. Because I'm not seeing any way for him to spawn the number 6, the Smash and Destroy 6 arcade LMDs without you going second. So you want to make sure you lose initiative. That's kind of an interesting thing. I don't really ever see that as being something you want to do with most figures. So cool, cool, cool. I like it. All right, moving on. We've got a play-at-home kit here today. And as you can see, we have Thunderbolt Ross after he's gone his transformation. And yes, spoilers, I think the statute of limitations have passed on this. There was a big mystery. Who is the Red Hulk for a very long time? Spoiler, it is Thunderbolt Ross. Boom. Inside the play-at-home kit, which you can pick up at your local comic shop and gaming store, you will get a number of things. And we're going to look at them right now. You get 2 figures, which you can see on the outside of the box. You get a number of terrain tokens here. We've got a mailbox, we've got a stop sign, we've got another car, we've got some elevated terrain, some hindering a lamp post. So you can see all these here. That comes in there. Very cool. And then you got Red Hulk and what looks like a Los Diablos military officer or military policeman. You also have a map in here. So we'll take a look at what that map is. All right, and then we'll look at the figures. Tomorrow, big day. Tomorrow, legacy cards. I know everybody's been waiting all week. Day 5, we'll open the legacy cards, or not open them. I'll open the one I got, and then we'll look at the rest of them. Mean Streets Outdoor is one side of the map. Mean Streets Outdoor. Boom. Okay. That's the Mean Streets Outdoor. Bunch of hindering there in the middle. Oh, what is that up top? It's like a crazy looking truck thing. On the other side of the map is called Subway Indoor. So just kind of generic, you know, maps here as far as where the battles are taking place. Got some water terrain there, broken pipe and stuff. Some blocking terrain, a couple of the railroad tracks. Doing some friendly at-home play, you can make it so trains run through those tracks every now and then. Every turn, roll, see if a train comes through. If you're in those spaces, boom, you get hit by the subway. That would be awesome. That's why I love this game, because we've got our basic rules, right? But just as I was talking about in one of the videos the other day, that's the kind of thing you can do when you're playing friendly matches or you're playing at home and you want to expand the story of the characters that you love. This game affords you the opportunity to do that. So definitely on that subway map. I don't know. Tell me in the comments down below, do you guys make up any of your own unique rules in friendly matches for like maps or anything like that? Is that something you guys are really, really interested in? Or do you only play the game for like high-level tournaments or meta stuff? Let me know in the comments down below how you like to play the game. I like to play with like really cool scenarios and stuff like that, and I love doing stuff like with the subway map there, making it so that you roll every turn, and if you're one of those squares, you might get hit. All right, moving on, let's take a look at this Los Diablos military police. Now we've seen a Los Diablos officer and a Los Diablos soldier, so this is a third person for Los Diablos. You got Hulkbusters, police, and soldier keywords. Set number 101 comes in at 30 points. Fortify this facility. Stop, but only if the attacking character has a damage value of 4 or greater. Okay, so 4 stop clicks on this dial if the damage of the character attacking has 4 or greater damage. So your opponent gets to control that for the most part. All units empower leadership. Oh, sorry, there's 2 of the stop clicks. I mislooked there. So 2 stop clicks. So still, setting up yourself to get hit by somebody with 4 or greater damage is going to be, take some strategic feats there. All units empower and leadership. When Los Diablos MP uses leadership and succeeds, after resolutions, oh, there it is, generate a smash and destroy set number 4A Los Diablos soldier on click number 1, adjacent to a friendly character with the Hulkbuster keyword. So that's cool, anywhere on the map there for you. On the back, you can see Incredible Hulk 150 in 1972 is the Los Diablos MP. So I said in the earlier videos, I was like, there's got to be a way to generate these guys. There's been too much figure generation in HeroClix for it not to happen. Now, let's look at the big man himself, the big ticket item. The reason you're all here for the play-at-home kit, I'm guessing, is to get a red Hulk. I mean, Los Diablos MP is cool, but if you're buying this thing, you want this guy. Avengers, Hulkbusters, Intelligentsia, Thunderbolts, Brute, and Soldier, Radiation Rage, Poison, Willpower. When Red Hulk uses Willpower and succeeds, after resolutions, he may move up to 4 squares, and this turn, he can use Poison regardless of having moved. Very cool. That's a trait for him. On the back, you've got Gamma Bomb. Power. Generate a Gamma Bomb hindering terrain marker within 6 squares. Max of 1. This game, that marker has, at the end of your turn, roll a d6. On a roll of 4 to 6, deal 3 damage to all characters within 3 squares of this marker, then knock them back away from this marker, then destroy this marker. Oh, that is so cool. Okay, that's awesome. That's the kind of stuff I absolutely love. I was just talking about the subway map. Like, think about it, if you're standing on a subway track and you roll the dice, and you can do that at home on a friendly game, but they took an element like that and they put it actually into the figure. This is really cool. I love you putting that Gamma Bomb somewhere on the map and you're rolling for it. And if you're choosing to be there, you keep rolling and something negative could happen. That is so, so cool. I designed a map last year for our HeroClix for Huntington's initiative called the Ice Lake, where something like that could happen for you too. Like if you are choosing to attack on this lake, or if you get attacked while you're on this lake, there's a chance you fall through the ice, you could have some things happen to you. This Gamma Bomb, I want more of this. Tell me in the comments below if you want more of this kind of gameplay in HeroClix. Gamma Bomb. I think that is such a cool thing. Set it on the map, roll for it. It's just another thing that's happening as you're playing the game of HeroClix, and it's so story-based, and I think it's so cool. I love it 100%. Yeah, let me know in the comments down below if this is something else that you would like to see like a little more of in the game of HeroClix. And this is what I'm saying. When I did the Behind the Booster live stream that we did for the Spider-Verse set, John said, one of the guys that works over at WizKids said, we like surprise and delight. We try to do, these are 2 words we focus on a lot, to hit these fans of all these different groups of HeroClix and try and give them something that just makes them smile, or that they get giddy about, or that they really want to play. They really got me with this. Surprise and delight, this Gamma Bomb thing. Very, very cool. I love it. Absolutely love it. That's going to do it for today's Day 4 unboxing video. Tomorrow we'll be back for our last 2 boosters, and we'll talk about who is getting legacy cards for Smash and Destroy. Remember, this set comes out sometime in late May, pre-release sometime in early May. Again, this is March. We are so team early here that we don't even have the exact dates. So stay tuned to your local comic shops and gaming stores. Support them. Please buy local, support local. We need more venues that we can play this game at. We need more places where we can pick this stuff up at, and where our community can come together. Because there's nothing more I like in this world than spending time with awesome communities like this HeroClix community. Another way to spend some time with us, come down to Huntsville, Alabama, May from the 14th to the 18th for our HeroClix for Huntington's annual charity event. We're going to have tournaments, sealed tournaments, constructed tournaments, battle royals, all weekend long, amazing prizes, a big auction on the Saturday night. It has it all. It has something for every single HeroClix fan out there. So I hope you guys can join us and actually sit across a map from me and actually roll some dice and play some clicks. I love doing this stuff for you guys, you know, on cameras from a studio on the other side of the country, but it's even better when I get to sit down and hang out with you guys in person. Can't wait to be back tomorrow for day number 5 of the HeroClix unboxing series for Smash and Destroy. And I'll see you then, but until I do, may all your rolls be critical hits. Rah!